Hey everybody and welcome back. It's your boy Mark here. Today, I thought it would be interesting to do an FPS tier list and let you guys see what kind of games I like to play. Alright, so let's start off with an easy one. Probably if you've watched my channel before, you know that I love this game with all my heart. I always talk about it, I always bring it up. And that game is Halo 1. And I mean, come on now. How could you not put Halo 1 in S tier, bro? Okay, a lot of the systems in the game are outdated, but in my opinion, I think it holds up. This is like the granddaddy of 3D FPS games. I know the original Doom, kind of came first before Halo. That game was really just using 3D textures and sprites. But Halo came around and really just popularized the first-person shooter genre to really a point where I think most of these games probably wouldn't even exist without it. That might upset some people. A lot of people would say, Halo 3 is the greatest Halo of all time. But for me, Halo 1 started it all. It started the entire FPS genre. How can you not put that game in S tier? All right, let's move on to another game. Let's just pick randomly. I'm gonna wave my mouse around. What game is this? Far Cry Primal? Alright, I actually have played some Far Cry Primal, and I don't even know how this is considered an FPS. There's no guns in it. I really don't know why it's on this list. I didn't make this tier list, but I think I'm gonna put Far Cry Primal in F tier, just because it's just the shittiest game ever. I really don't think anyone would ever stumble upon this video and even try to argue with me. Why is it even on this list? It shouldn't be on this list. Alright, let's do another easy one. Fallout 76. I mean, do I really need to say more? It's kind of sad that Far Cry Primal really kind of could be worse than Fallout 76. But I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. Alright, let's move on to BioShock. BioShock's an interesting one. I really liked BioShock the first time I played it. I tried to revisit it, and man, the combat is kind of outdated. I know you could kind of say the same thing for Halo 1, but would you really try to say that, dude? The gameplay is pretty incredible. So BioShock, the world, the narrative, the story, just the atmosphere, everything around the game is great. The gameplay is the one thing that really doesn't hold up for me. I think I'm just gonna leave BioShock at a B tier for now. Maybe I'll move it around later, I don't know. Wolfenstein, baby. Alright, Wolfenstein is one of those games that just a really solid FPS game. The first time I played Wolfenstein, I actually played it on Death Incarnate difficulty, which is equivalent to say Legendary on Halo, or the hardest mode on most games. At first, it really left a sour taste in my mouth, but playing games on harder difficulties over time, I come to kind of see them in a different light. There really was one point in my history of playing video games where I was I have to play every game on the hardest difficulty possible. But I think I'll put Wolfenstein at a B tier for now. Alright, now Apex Legends, a game that I played only briefly when it first came out. What do I think of Apex Legends? It has the gunplay of Titanfall 2, but it's set in a battle royale sort of style of game. And really, I didn't give a rat's ass about this game. I really don't even know why this game's on this list, to be honest. I guess it is a first-person shooter, but this game has no campaign. It just really left me with a dry taste in my mouth. I just really don't care for battle royale games. I'm gonna put it at let's be fair. I'm gonna try to be fair here. I'm putting it at a D. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not a good game. Alright, let's do Far Cry 3, baby. Far Cry 3, good game. Made a YouTube video on that game.
Is that ice cream? Ice cream doesn't align with my political views.
You got a big island. You can explore. You can see tigers and all sorts of shit all over that game. That game's pretty crazy, to be honest. It's one of those early open world games that really set a lot of trends for open world games. I think I'm gonna put Far Cry 3 at a C, just because of how influential it was in kind of the open world genre. Then let's go back over to Halo. I haven't done a Halo game in a while. Halo 4 is one I have an interesting history with. I actually kind of liked Halo 4, which a lot of people will probably slam me for. I didn't like it quite that much that I actually care about putting it high on the list, though. It really was just kind of a generic shooter, sci-fi shooter. I think I'm going to put Halo 4 at a D, just because it kind of was the game that sort of put Halo on the trajectory of like a downhill slope. It just fell off the slope after that. Let's see here. Metro 2033. I believe that's the first Metro game in the series. I have played it. I think I'm gonna put it at a C next to Far Cry. It was a good game, don't get me wrong, especially for the time. It's very fun. I'd recommend it. I wouldn't recommend spending anything more than like $10 on it if you can. Good game. Gunplay was good. Story was good. It was kind of janky at parts. Felt like you just really get killed a lot for like no reason in particular. A lot of time it felt kind of unfair. That's kind of why I'm putting it low, like at a C. Mid-tier. Oh, I actually put the wrong Wolfenstein game there. I meant to do the first game. Let's do that right now. Let's see. Let's do Doom now. Doom, come on, guys. Doom is gonna be at an A tier, baby. I mean, it just was like this freaking amazing FPS game that came out in 2016 and just blew everyone away. Everyone was expecting it to just be like the worst, like most generic game ever. It introduced glory kills. It introduced all this crazy stuff. It really was that was really a renaissance for the FPS genre. Alright, Doom 2 is a game I never played, but I'm gonna pretend this is Doom Eternal right now, because I don't know how to add games onto this list. So we're gonna put Doom up here. Pretend that's Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is better than freaking Doom. Fight me. I'm just kidding. Really, it's just, you know, I'm conflicted on the whole thing. But for me personally, it's just S tier, no question about it. Fallout 3, great game. Great Western RPG. Horrible gameplay. The tech behind it is also pretty horrid. It just really doesn't hold up that well in terms of gameplay. In terms of atmosphere, world building, story, all great. Is it a good shooter though? Not really. The gunplay is horrible. I think I'm gonna put it at a C, just because it's a good game. A horrible game in terms of gameplay though. Yo, this guy's face is, not to be rude, it's looking a little bit like a dried potato chip that got dropped on the floor and fell behind the couch and got left there for the last 3 years. Roasted. Yo, holy frickamoly.
You don't see that very often.
Yo, I like this old dude's cracking me up. Metro Last Light, ladies and gentlemen. Really, it's just basically a clone of Metro 2033. So where should we put it? I'd say about there. They're great games, don't get me wrong. Great atmosphere, great world building. You know, great game to play. But I really it didn't stick with me, you know? Didn't change my life or anything. Borderlands 2, a game that I've only played for 4 hours and hated. I'm gonna put it at E just because I don't think I gave it a fair shot personally. I just hated the art style. I hated like the freaking, it's called Borderlands, so everything has a black border on it. Like someone in Photoshop took the entire game and put a black border on everything. It's not for me. The art style, I don't like it. I should try it again. Yes, you're right. But for me, I'm gonna put it at an E just because I don't think it deserves to be down with these two games. And also, I should give it a fair shot. Battlefield 1, a game I haven't played in quite a while, actually. But I did play it. One of the first console shooters I ever played, actually. I'm gonna put this baby at... I'm gonna put it at D, baby. Great game, great gameplay. Campaign was good. Multiplayer, I didn't give a rat's ass about. Just overall kind of meh. But, you know, it's a good shooter. It deserves to be, like, in the same ballpark as these games. But, definitely not anywhere close to anything up here for me personally. Far Cry 5, another game that I freaking hated. I was expecting it to be a lot more like Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 really was the height of the series. I felt like I just got ripped off, you know? It felt so bland and boring and generic. Nothing ever happened in the game. You just go around shooting bad guys. There's like two enemies, dogs and humans, and that's it. And all you have to do is like walk to a waypoint, and there's like basically no story. I didn't play a very long time, similar to Borderlands, but I gave it quite a fair shot, maybe 6 to 8 hours. But bro, do you really have to play more than 8 hours to like actually get into the meat and potatoes of a game? Yeah, for me it's down here with these games. Sorry everybody. Titanfall 1, you can't play the game today. You cannot play the game. The campaign is unplayable because you need there to be players to play it. It's on multiplayer exclusively, so you had to have Xbox Live to play it. And the game has no player base today, understandably, because it was a generic game. Is it a good game? Not really. Did it inspire Titanfall 2, one of the greatest shooters of all time? Yeah, it did. But for me, just F tier, because you literally can't play the game, and it's just unreasonable.
It's just unreasonable.
Alright, Doom 3, baby. I played Doom 3. I'm really just throwing a lot of hate to a lot of games today. That's not what this video is meant to be. It's meant to be enjoying the games that I like. I think I'm leaving some bangers, though, for the end, as you might be able to tell. Doom 3, for me, though, I can understand why some people would like it. It's like a horror sort of game. I think generally the consensus on it within the Doom community is that it's like the worst Doom game of the mainline games. Does it deserve to be with these games? No. Does it deserve to be with this game? Yes. So bad, I returned it. Battlefront, baby. Bum bum ba. Da da da. I bought Battlefront for $5 at GameStop. It was not worth the $5, let's say that. A lot of the music that you're hearing in this video is composed by my buddy Dylan, who loves Star Wars. He loves most of the Star Wars games. I'm not sure about Battlefront 1, but not to insult you, Dylan, but I'm gonna have to put this down here with these ones, just because the game was so lacking in content. Fallout New Vegas, baby. Fallout New Vegas. It's the same engine as Fallout 3. What are you gonna expect? It's not a good shooter, guys. It's just not a good shooter. I don't know what to say. It's a great game. It's an incredible game. Not a good shooter. BioShock 2, where do you think it belongs? I think right here. BioShock 1 was just so revolutionary that the guys that made it, how could they ever top it? People were expecting so much from a sequel, and the sequel was just bland and generic. I mean, it's a good game. These games are all great. You should experience all these games. Does it belong with the first one? No. Wolfenstein 2. Way too many cutscenes. Way too many cutscenes. Gameplay was great. Just the game was so bogged down with cutscenes. It really kind of ruined the experience for me. And in my opinion, the first game is way better. The second game feels like it dumbs down a lot of the systems that the first game introduced. It's running on a newer engine. It looks better than the first game. I think I gotta put it here into C tier, baby. Alright, Titanfall 2. Bros, come on now. Where do you think I'm gonna put Titanfall 2? You thought I was gonna put it in F tier. No way, guys. Titanfall 2 belongs with Halo, Doom Eternal. It belongs in S tier. That's what I'm trying to say. Just really, the game was incredible. Incredible gunplay. One of the greatest shooters. Should play it. No question. Great campaign. Great multiplayer. Just all around perfect game. BioShock Infinite, baby. People are gonna hate me for this. I think it's gotta go in A tier. It's a great game. It's definitely in the general area that it should be. Up there. High up there. Metro Exodus. Another game that blew me away. It was so incredible. The world design is so immersive. One of the most immersive games you'll play. Is it a great shooter on the level of like a Doom or Halo? Not really. But it's a different kind of game. It's not an action shooter. It's more of a survival shooter. Like kind of along the lines of, think of like Minecraft, except there's no building. The graphics are incredible. There's no squares. It's very like hardcore survival, especially if you put the difficulty on high like I did. I'm gonna give it an A tier. It's just kind of really one of those underrated games that a lot of people should play. I think one of the reasons the Metro games kind of get overlooked a lot of the time is, understandably, a lot of people that play these games are, gun-loving Americans. And, why would you really want to play a game about communist Russia, I mean, if you can put your mind into the setting of this game, it's just really an adventure that's going to take you new places you never thought you would go. I don't know why I ended up not doing the Halo games. I think I was trying to avoid them since I'm, love Halo so much and biased. But we might as well start digging in. Halo 5 is an interesting one for me because I freaking love the multiplayer in that game. I've played so many hours of that game, probably more than any other game on this list. Is it as good as these games? Definitely not. I think Halo 5 belongs in D tier. Unfortunately, I have to say, Even though I personally enjoy the multiplayer, the campaign was ass, and it ruined the Halo series for me and a lot of other people, which is why I'm going to have to put it in D tier. Alright, let's do another Halo one just to knock one out of the way. Halo 3 is a weird one for me. Everybody loves Halo 3. I like it, okay? But do I think it's on par with these games? Not really. Do I think it's on par with BioShock? Hell yeah, dude. It's an incredible game, okay? Is it the greatest game ever created? You know, you might like it. Just for me personally, I'm putting it at a B. I know. This is a personal list, okay? Your list would look different from mine. This is not the official community list, okay? Let's look at what the community list is. Yeah, a lot different from mine and a lot more variety as well, since, you know, there's a lot of games that I haven't played on here. And, you know, it's fair. I like it. But this is my personal list, okay? Far Cry 2, played a bit of it. I'm going to have to put Far Cry 2 at the C tier, just because even though the game looks like ass, and you know, this game could really benefit from like a 4K patch, or really just any kind of visual patch. I'm sure they have it on PC. I'm sure modders already did something like that. I play on freaking console. You know, I'm broke as hell. I didn't stick with the game long before I lost interest, but I can see why it was so, you know, revolutionary. I don't know if that word's right, but it spawned an entire franchise of Far Cry games. It makes sense why. It's not as good as the third game, but I think it's close, so we'll leave it at C. Can this car go in the water is the real question. Car is now in the lake. Bye-bye, car. A funeral for you. That was a good funeral. Alright, we're getting close to being done here, guys. Halo 2 for me, should I judge it with anniversary graphics in mind? The original graphics, in my opinion, are butt-ass ugly graphics. But the anniversary graphics are incredible. The gameplay is incredible. The story is incredible. I think this game belongs at A tier. No questions asked. Bulletstorm, a game that I don't even know how I've played it, and not have played any of the Call of Duties. I really liked it when I played it. I thought it was going to stick with me longer than it did, but I really kind of forgot about it like a week after I played it. It had a good campaign. The game was supposed to have a sequel that never came out because it didn't perform well. I'm going to have to put it in D tier. Why is Battlefield 1 down here? I'm going to move it up there. Halo Reach, baby. Halo Reach. Where am I going to put Halo Reach? I didn't like Halo 3 so much. It belongs in S tier, mother frickers. And here's why it belongs in S tier. The gameplay is incredible. The story is pretty decent. After years of making Halo games, Bungie used all their knowledge that they had collectively gained through making games and put it all together in this incredible game. You have to play Halo Reach. How can you not play Halo Reach? Halo Reach is S tier. Fight me. I will die on this hill. I will die. Fallout 4 is the last game. Boom. Boom. Play a dramatic noise right now for me, future me in editing. Why is Fallout 4 so controversial? Boom, boom, boom. Because after Fallout 76, everybody started collectively hating Fallout games. Boom, boom, boom. Fallout 4. Where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it in the B tier. Bitches. I don't know, it was a good game. It had open world and fun gameplay, and it just, you know, it gets my, you know, juices pumping in the brain. You know, it's not the greatest game of all time. This is just a personal list. Don't kill me, please. Alright guys, you wanna see me without the hat on? How like crazy I look with this f***ing stupid buzz cut? Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's alright, don't cry. It's okay. It's alright. Alright guys, if you like this video, you know what to do. Halo 4 is not in the same category as Halo Combat Evolved. What amateur child made this list?